Welcome to 5678, a movie musical podcast, where two best friends, separated by geography but united in their love for musical theater, review and recap movie musicals. Each episode we will dissect a new movie musical, ranging from the 1930s all the way up to today, all the while giggling, snorting, and generally being absolute dunces. So powder those noses and tape down those boobs. We're about to start rolling.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Maria.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My
Of the music of
Happy March, once again.
Why?
We're in a loop. It's fine.
I haven't seen WandaVision yet, but it feels like I'm living in WandaVision.
Just a studio audience there every time.
It's okay. All right.
Yep.
Well, let's get started. Welcome to 5678, a movie musical podcast, and welcome to Across the Universe.
I love this movie. I am Grace.
I am Anna,
And
and I had, once again, never seen this movie.
how? This
I
is
don't
so
know.
wild to me. The lack of movies that you have seen, just like as
Listen, we're not a movie family.
but you're like in movies.
I know, and it's really funny. I realized I have worked with this cinematographer before.
Really?
Yeah. We can I have a lot to talk about him. He's great.
Excellent.
There are so many songs in this movie.
There's a lot of songs. So I have seen this movie before. In fact, this movie was my first date. So
I love that. I love that so much.
it came out in 2007 in October, and that was my first semester of my freshman year of high school. And went on a date with this boy, and pretty sure he's gay now. And
What was his name?
Hugh something.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh
Grant.
Jackman. And it's very funny also that he ended up realizing that he was gay was also because this movie was very much a sexual awakening for me, because I realized that I wasn't fully straight and I was very into Evan Rachel Wood.
She's hot.
Oh man, she's
great.
genuinely
I love her.
one of the most gorgeous people.
There were several moments in this movie where I was like, is this what drugs are like?
Yeah, I mean, both of us
Is
are,
this
you
what
know,
the 70s?
so crazy and wild with our drug use.
I mean, if you looked at us, you would just...
Party aminals are we.
All right. Also, wow, I hadn't seen one of those FBI anti-piracy blue screen warnings in a
man.
while. It's a nice little throwback.
The Airbnb that we're at has an actual DVD player and a fuck ton of DVDs. So we've been watching those because they're movies that we don't have. But every single one of them starts with the, you wouldn't steal a car.
You wouldn't download a car.
I'm like, I absolutely fucking would. Also, I love those ads because they completely misrepresent what's happening. They're like, piracy is stealing. I'm like, no, piracy is copying. I'm not taking your movie. It would be like if I went and made a copy of your car and then left with my copy and you still had your car. Like, what is happening
But you
here?
didn't pay for it.
No, I did not.
It's like scamming the copy machine at work.
Which, who among us has not?
This movie begins with a sad boy on a gloomy, cloudy beach. It's a sad beach. He's
Yes.
sad about a girl.
It was funny because it started and I was like, England? And then he started singing and I was like, ah, yes, England.
For England.
For England. Direct to camera singing, too.
Yeah, like we get a really nice like crashing ocean waves slash composited with revolution anti-war protests. And
Yes.
you know it's a flashback because it's in black and white.
Absolutely. And it's to the song Helter Skelter, which has its own huge drama with that song.
I didn't know that was a Beatles song.
Really? Yeah.
No.
That was the
First song of this movie. I was like, really?
Yeah, and you know about the history of that song with Charles Manson.
I don't know anything.
Yeah, so Charles Manson thought that Helter Skelter was a song saying that there was going to be this huge race war and that the white people had to get ready for it. He was the racist, by the way, amongst other bad qualities. So he ended up, whenever he did the Tate murders, he ended up painting Helter Skelter in blood on the wall because he thought that it would, like,
Yikes.
ignite a race war sort of thing. But it was really, apparently Helter Skelter, according to someone, was just about, like, you know, the merry-go-round ride in playgrounds.
Yes.
Apparently in the UK, that is called a Helter Skelter, and that's what this is about.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We move from this revolution anti-war protest.
Fade to Disco Ball.
Oh, look, it's Evan Rachel Wood
Yay!
at a prom, and like big 50s vibes.
Oh, yeah. It's probably early 60s right now, but, like, she's
It is.
full Mayberry at this point, and so...
Suburban.
Yeah.
Not poodle skirts, but like that silhouette.
Mm-hmm.
I, as a human who has trained in musical theater and loves musical theater, I'm personally not a big fan of breathy singing artists, especially in movies.
Yeah.
I found it did work for this movie for intimate moments, for quiet or sad moments, and it also works, I think it works a little better than Broadway moments that are supposed to be intimate when they're just belting in each other's faces. Like, it's a quiet, intimate moment.
Which is always very funny to me.
So, in that sense, I thought this movie did a very good job.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So this song that it fades into is Hold Me Tight, and we see Blonde Lucy, which is Evan Rachel Wood, dancing with a guy.
He looks like the heartthrob character from The Princess Diaries 1, like the jock.
Oh. Really?
The blonde one. The blonde one.
The bad one who wants a
Yeah,
foot
the
rub?
bad one.
Okay. Chad? John?
Sure.
Matt? I don't know. I don't see that, but I will let you live your life. And then during this song, we cut to a different version of this song in sort of a grungy underground UK club.
It looks like a literal cave.
Well, this cave was rebuilt specifically as where the Beatles first got their start, this sort of underground club, which was very cool. So then we meet Jude, who was sad boy on beach, dancing with a girl, and he's not super into her. It seems like he's a little bit distracted.
This song cuts back and forth from the very like bright, warm tones of Evan Rachel Lucy's prom to the darker tones with the underground band club kind of a thing.
Yes. And Lucy and Jude's girlfriend, whose name is Molly, are both singing. Now, apparently the actress who plays Molly can't really sing. So they had Evan Rachel Wood record her stuff in a slight British accent, which I find hilarious.
I thought they were going to fuck in that cave bar.
I mean, it's rated PG-13, so they probably did off camera.
But the song finishes.
Yes.
Jude and Molly walk home. She's sad. She says, "Who will take me out next week? You'll be halfway around the world."
So Jude is going to America.
We also learn that Evan Rachel Wood, Lucy's date, who we don't know yet, but his name is Daniel, is also leaving, but he's leaving to go to boot camp because, surprise, the Vietnam War is happening and there's a draft.
Exactly. So, cut to Shipyard. Jude finishes his day there, grabs his last paycheck, and has a conversation with the guy who hands out the paychecks.
It's payday.
It's payday.
Jude is a welder?
Shipyard person, man, you know,
Sure.
Big tanker ships and that sort of thing is what he works on. So, Jude goes home to his mom.
She doesn't want him to leave.
Yeah, she's ironing his shirts, and she's very anxious for him.
And we learn he's going on a ship to America, and he's going to shovel coal across. Like, that's how he's paying for his passage. It doesn't say why he's going to America yet, other than just, like, feeling the need to get out of Liverpool. He sneaks downstairs.
Once his mom leaves her room, he goes down, sneaks into her room, and steals 2 pictures. And they are very heavily photoshopped. Did you notice this?
I did. I always noticed that.
They were just big heads on top of people.
There are 2 black and white photos of 2 younger people in love. And we don't know who they are yet, but we can assume that one is his mom.
But one of the guys is in a military outfit as well, so the guess is it's World War II.
Yes. Next, we are in the alley with Molly and Jude. They're making out, but she's all pouty because he's leaving, and she thinks he wants a break from her. And he sings in her ear, "Close your eyes and I'll kiss ya," which is the beginning of All My Lovin'. And I love that they interact with the songs in this movie. He sings, and I forgot the actual lyric. Oh, he says, "And I'll send
all my lovin' to you."
She goes, "You better."
Yeah, exactly.
I liked it. It wasn't just...
This happens a lot, especially later on whenever JoJo and Sadie have their angry song where he's just like responding to her words, and it's just like, there she goes again.
Angry song.
Angry song. So he promises he'll stay in touch.
Jude's on a boat. He's away.
Huzzah!
And Daniel, Evan Rachel Wood's boy, is leaving too. She's sad in a suburban way. We see Daniel in his army convoy leaving, and he's reading her letters.
Yes.
She's in her bedroom writing letters. He's reading letters. The convoy passes
Through Ohio.
a different high school.
Yes.
And we see a cheerleading team and football players.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love 1950s cheerleading costumes.
Yes, they were great and, like, knee-length.
Knee-length, long sleeve.
Yeah.
New character.
Huzzah! We see Prudence. Prudence looks like the only person of color in her school. I mean, it's Middletown, Ohio. But she starts singing, I Want to Hold Your Hand. This is probably one of my favorite songs, just the reimagined version of the Beatles songs in this movie. It's just so beautiful, and the rewrite for a feminine vocal range was so perfectly done. I love it so much.
She's looking at one of the other cheerleaders.
Yes.
I literally wrote my thought process of like, oh, she's looking at the boys. Maybe she's looking at the girl. Oh, she's definitely looking at the girl.
Oh, yeah. Then there's this awesome slow-mo walkthrough of tackling football players. It is so cool looking as she's singing this song about how she's in love with this girl. She wants to hold her hand, but obviously that's not going to happen here.
It's like this slow motion football practice happening behind her. I couldn't figure out if they'd shot them at the same time or separately. I have to assume that they shot them separately. But these football players aren't just practicing. They are full-on flying through the air. They are being flung over shoulders. It's amazing.
It's so good. It's obviously dancers, so some of it is very much just a sort of dancing backflip over top in a football outfit. It was very cool. So she just walks out and runs away, and she's trying to hitch away from her Ohio
Next
town.
time we see her, she's hitchhiking. She's in regular clothes, but no one's picking her up.
Yeah.
Cut to Jude is also hitchhiking, and someone stops for him.
Yes.
Sexist.
Okay, so valid. There's this really funny moment in this where the car stops and he almost goes around to the other side of the car and then comes back. And as someone who is currently in New Zealand and therefore dealing with cars where the driver's spot is on the opposite side, I understand his plight.
We are next at an old-timey university. It's Princeton, but we don't know that yet. And, oh God, there's another new character.
God, scruffy blonde.
They introduced us to, like, so many new characters in such a short period of time. Scruffy blonde boy is running down the stairs in a hurry, and his papers and his books are just flying everywhere, and shocker, he drops them.
You know, like movies do.
Yeah. Jude is there, and helps him pick up his papers.
Yes.
And he asks where he would find Professor Wesley Huber. And the blonde boy says, I don't know.
Max says, no such professor. I've pissed off every professor in Princeton, and he ain't one of them.
But he points him to a guy, and he says, that's Wes Huber. Surprise, it's a maintenance guy.
Yes.
Working on a window.
Then Jude goes over and talks to him, and is sort of trying to feel him out, and then eventually says, I think I'm your son. And the guy's like, no, I don't think so. Until Jude mentions his mother's name.
Mm-hmm. We're next in Mr. Huber's janitorial, not a dorm room, but like definitely
boiler?
A part of the boiler room that he has made into his office / where he lives.
I don't think he lives there because he says he has a family, so maybe it's just like...
But there's a cot there.
Maybe
it's never explained.
He used to live, I don't know.
Or he crashes there.
If he's there late or something, I don't know. But there's a bed.
Yes. This is the first time we find out that Jude's name is Jude.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that until just now.
Yeah. It's like 10 minutes into this movie and we're like, what's the name of the lead character?
What is this sad boy's name? We learn that Mr. Huber has a family. He moved on. He has 2 kids. And Jude says, I'm not here to make you come back. I'm just here so that both know the other one exists.
Right. Cut to Max and Co. Drunk on a roof, hitting golf balls at a building. This feels like classic rich boy behavior. Max tees up a golf ball on top of a beer bottle, and they're aiming to break windows in this one building. So he goes and he breaks the window, and everyone cheers.
But not before one of them says, you couldn't hit the barn side of a broad, which I thought was hilarious.
So Max breaks the window. They all cheer, and then a guy leans out the window and says, we're gonna get you. And then 5 big dudes come running out of the building. So scatter!
Max and Co. run away. Jude is smoking and brooding. He sees the frat boys coming after Max, and he helps him hide in the maintenance hallway.
And, okay, Jude flicks a lit cigarette into a bush. Only you can stop forest fires, Jude!
It's the 70s.
So furious. Put out your cigarette, motherfucker. Ta-da! Jude helps Max escape.
And Max remembers him as the guy who asked for where Huber was earlier. We learn that Jude is staying, at least for now, in Huber's space. Like, he's staying overnight because there's a bed there.
Exactly.
Now we learn that Max's name is Max. And he offers Jude a drink
Yes.
from his flask to thank him for saving him, and he gives him a little tour of Princeton with his friends to the tune of I Get By with Little Help from My Friends. Lots of couch dancing. They go to a bar. It's just like drunken collegiate revelry and hijinks.
It's a big montage of shenanigans and
Apparently
revelry.
none of them have ever been drunk before, because they are just all over the place.
There's this moment where they're smoking what is obviously supposed to be a joint, but there's no joint there. They're literally just pinching their fingers together as if, and it turns out the reason that they do that was to keep from an R rating, because if they showed people doing drugs, it would have to be R.
They shot on Princeton.
This whole place
campus.
shot on location, including in New York, which is just wild.
Yeah. I mean, when you have a $45 million budget, apparently they weren't... it was probably a fake joint when they shot it, but apparently Princeton was like, we don't want any depiction of drugs on our campus, even if it's a fake joint. Cut 2, we see...
Oh, wait, sorry. There's just one moment that is probably one of my favorite moments, is at the very end of this song, they burst out and it's starting to be dawn, so they've been drinking and partying all night, and then this one drunken guy does an air drum solo to the song, and it's just so fun. I love that moment. Yeah.
Cut 2, we see Lucy walking with her friend, talking about how she doesn't ever want kids. This is when we learn her name is Lucy. She gets home. She got a letter. She finds out that her boyfriend Daniel is coming home next weekend before he ships out. She's still in high school, apparently.
I think it's her senior year.
Yeah. We get the song. What is the title of this song? Because all I wrote was a lyric.
It won't be long.
Great, I was right. This is It Won't Be Long.
That's the nice thing about Beatles songs, is that normally you can tell what the name of the song is based on it.
There is a great choreographed basketball sequence of the girls' basketball team, like clearly PE, not like an extracurricular, while they sing this. I really liked it.
It was a lot of fun.
Very like early High School Musical, but better. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
During the song, we see Jude and Max driving in one direction as our cheerleader, hitchhiker Prudence, is going in the other direction, and we see her finally get picked up.
So now we have Max and Jude outside of the high school. Turns out Max and Lucy are siblings, and they have come home for Thanksgiving, and Max has brought Jude back to enjoy this. Now, Jude has never had a Thanksgiving, obviously. He is from the UK. And so Jude's like, you know, what, Thanksgiving? Max is like, super heartwarming. And Lucy's like, JK, it's genocide. So really, just the whole spectrum here.
It's Thanksgiving dinner. Max, Jude, Lucy, Max and Lucy's family, including their father, who is played by Dylan Baker. He's in a lot of stuff. As soon as he came on screen, I was like, it's you!
I love those actors.
Max tells his family that he's dropping out of college, and his dad yells at him and tells him to be serious.
There's this great moment where the dad is like, oh, so you're that guy who's just going to wander around the country, Jack, and then the mom's like, Kerouac. And then Lucy's like, Mom! She's like, I read, it's fine.
I loved that.
Then one of the relatives, Uncle Teddy, has this sort of angry 50s dad sort of yell at Max where he's like, you know, what you do defines who you are. And then Max in full hippie vibe is like, what? No. Who you are defines what you do. And then, of course, he pulls Jude into this drama. What a bad friend. You know, your friend is just sitting there. This is his first Thanksgiving. Big argument. I'm just going to sit here and look at my peas.
For the family he's not a part of.
Not a part of. And he's just like, hey, Jude, you agree with me, right? And he's like, But he has this great line. Surely it's not what you do, but the way that you do it. And it shuts the whole family up, which is great.
Later, Jude is sitting out back in the backyard smoking. Lucy comes out and she apologizes for her dad's behavior. Jude says, like, is it always like this? Or, like, when did they start throwing plates? And Lucy's like, that'll be about dessert. He tells her about his experience meeting his dad for the first time. They flirt a little bit. Then Max comes out just ranting about how his parents are like this every time he comes home.
Flustered.
And he says, like, we gotta get out of here. he says they need to do something about Jude. Quote, he's a sailor on leave. He needs a bar, a brawl, and a brothel. Instead,
so they go bowling.
Oh, this is my favorite, cinematography-wise, this is my favorite sequence in the movie.
It's such a fun sequence. So we go to the bowling alley and the song I've Just Seen a Face starts. So Lucy and Jude sort of I flirt this entire song.
But it's Jude singing the song. This is not an ensemble song. It's an ensemble song later, but it starts with just Jude.
Yes.
There's a really cool shot of Jude being dragged on his back down the bowling alley lane with balls just flying on either side of him in the gutter.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool.
There's an interstitial scene where Jude asks Max what he'll do if he drops out of college for real, and Max says what any irresponsible, unmotivated dropout would do. Go to New York.
In the scene, Max says that he wants to go to NYC tonight, and that, you know, there's music, dope, orgies, it'll be a gas. And then they run down the bowling lanes, and as cool as this sequence looks, my mind was like, those poor bowling lane workers are gonna have to fix all of these lanes. You're all just scuffing your shoes all over these waxed floors.
There's several shots of people just falling down, and I bet those were bloopers. I bet those weren't intended to be in the film.
Cut to New York City. They're looking for an apartment in a 6th-floor walk-up.
Oh,
boy. Anna and I have lived that life. Our second apartment was a 6th-floor walk-up, and when Jude gets to the top, out of breath, saying, I'm not living here, I completely understand.
Meanwhile, I was like, baby. The door opens to a woman. Jude and Max come in and they say they saw her ad in Rat magazine to rent one of the rooms. She introduces herself as Sadie, and they end up renting the room. Right, like it's that easy to get an apartment in New York City.
Oh my god, is this how apartments were in the 60s? Wild. But second off, this apartment, though, so large.
Yeah.
How many rooms are in that place? I wish they had
know.
a diagram, because I don't understand the layout after 2 hours of this movie. So it turns out Sadie is a singer, and there's this really funny moment where, you know, Max and Jude are very excited, and they're like, oh, they go to the window, and they're like, and look where we are, and it's a brick wall. And I'm like, correct! Welcome to New York City!
Cut to, we see Lucy biking with a friend around her suburban neighborhood, and she sees 2 army people walking up the door to what is her boyfriend's house. We see them delivering the news that he has been killed in combat to his mother. Lucy cries and screams. The mother cries and screams, and she's holding the dog tags. And as the dog tags fall to the floor of the porch, Let It Be begins to be sung.
Yes. This is also a gorgeous rewrite of this song. So this song is a montage of the riots in Detroit in 1967, and this is going to be like my show notes. Please look this up afterwards, is go and read through exactly what happened. So just as a tiny little brief overview, the event that started this riot was a police raid of an unlicensed speakeasy, and it exploded into one of the deadliest and most destructive riots in American history. It lasted 5 days. It was worse than the 1943 riots, and it wasn't surpassed until the LA riots in 1992. Lyndon B. Johnson ended up sending in the Army and airborne divisions. 43 people died, over 1,000 people were injured, there were over 7,000 arrests, and 2,000 buildings were destroyed. So highly recommend people looking up the story of the 1967 Detroit riot.
In this song, Let It Be, we have 2 narratives bouncing back and forth. We have the funeral for Daniel, Lucy's boyfriend. It's a big military ceremony in a big green cemetery. Cutting back and forth to church services in Detroit for a young boy who was killed in the riot. He is the one singing Let It Be in the first half of this song. Once he is killed, the song is taken over by the gospel choir who is performing at his funeral.
Yes.
And in the pews of his funeral, the young boy's funeral, we see a woman and clearly her adult son. We learn that this is the older brother of the boy who was killed. And we next see him waiting in a bus station for a Greyhound bus to go to New York City, and he has a duffel bag and a guitar case. On the bus, the beginning chords of Come Together play. The bus pulls into Port Authority, and a homeless man starts to actually vocalize the song of Come Together.
Now, this homeless man is played by Joe Cocker, who has done a couple of versions of Beatles songs before. So the fact they got him in to sing this, as he plays several different characters throughout this song, it was really cool that they got him to work on this.
I love the way they did this song. This is just one of a more nonsensical Beatles song, and the way they put that into the reality of New York City, I thought was really well done. The man's name is Jojo, the brother of the boy who was killed. His name is Jojo. Jojo walks around, and we're seeing kind of a grittier evening in New York City. We pass a pimp and a bunch of prostitutes who are singing come together.
And that pimp has the widest collar I have ever seen. It stretches from shoulder blade to shoulder blade. It is so funny.
You know who's one of the prostitutes? Orfeh.
I don't know this. Who is this?
Orfeh was Paulette in Legally Blonde.
Oh!
The original Paulette. She's one of the prostitutes.
That's so amazing. I
love it. But we see Jojo exploring New York City and feeling very out of place. We move from this gritty New York City nightlife to suits, just like a whole fleet of men, businessmen in business suits.
It's like the Fide District. Fide District. That's repetitive. Kill me.
Dancing around him, but they're dancing very much like in lines and right angles, very viewpoints, if anyone has studied theater. And again, Jojo just feels very out of place.
Now we get to what is their sort of idealized version of the West Village. So now a hippie version of Joe Cocker is finishing up the song. He stops Jojo from being hit by a taxi, which, surprise, is driven by Max.
Yeah, Max got a job driving a taxi.
So at the end of this song, Jojo and Jude pass each other on the street. Jude has a bunch of art, and Jojo stops to audition as a guitarist for Sadie.
Yes. We see Jude drop off their drawings. We saw him sketching earlier at Rat Magazine. We transition to Jojo's like feeling more at home. He now lives with Max, Jude, and Sadie. And he's kind of tinkering on the guitar one night. Jude comes over, asks about him, and Jojo says, music's the only thing that makes sense anymore now. Suddenly, through the window comes a stranger.
Through the bathroom window, which is another Beatles song. The amount of references are wild.
Everyone's way too cool about this.
Like, is this how the 60s were? Someone just appeared in your room and you're just like, yeah, okay.
But surprise, it's the cheerleader girl. It's Prudence, who was hitchhiking. She's dressed way cooler now, but she has a big black eye. And she says that she was living with the guy across the street, but she left.
And everyone is so chill about it. Sadie walks by and she's like, where did she come from? Jude just gives her a towel, and I guess she lives here now?
Yeah, now she lives there.
Renting apartments was so insane at that time.
Next, we see Lucy back home with her mom. Lucy wants to go to New York to be with Max for the summer before she leaves for college. Mom wants her to go to Europe with Dad. Their mom is, like, not convinced Max isn't just, like, living a life of sin.
Living with promiscuous dope fiends.
Lucy says, you know me, I don't even smoke. The big bad city's not gonna get me.
Dun, dun, dun.
Smash cut to the song Why Don't We Do It in the Road in a grungy Lower East Side bar.
Exactly. So this is Sadie performing. So she had mentioned earlier she's a singer. So this is one of her performances.
And Jojo's playing guitar.
All the apartment and Lucy are there cheering and supporting. Prudence is super vibing to the music, and Lucy seems a little lost, so it's obviously she's very distracted and it's not really clear what's sort of going through her mind. So Jude asks Lucy if she wants to go get some air, and this girl that Jude was sitting next to sort of eyeballs them as they leave.
Jude asks how Lucy's liking New York, and she's like, well, I got here 3 hours ago, so... We see Jude and Lucy leave the bar, and the bar is called Cafe Huh, which is a play on Cafe Wa, and I loved that.
Again, the amount of references in this movie is wild.
It's well done. It's well done. Lucy calls the girl that Jude was with his girlfriend, and he says she's not, kind of testing the waters. And Jude tells Lucy that he likes New York, but he doesn't have a visa, so he's not technically there.
Lucy's still very distracted, and Jude asks if she's okay. He heard about Daniel's death, but she says she has a letter that came for Max, and she didn't know how to tell him.
She hasn't
about
given it to him yet.
Right.
Cut to
Katz's Delicatessen!
The whole gang is there. Sadie, Jojo, Prudence, Max, Jude, Lucy, a couple other people, I think. Max now has a letter, and he opens it. Dun, dun, dun. It's a draft letter. He's been drafted, and he was exempt when he was in college, but now that he's dropped out, he's no longer exempt.
So everyone starts giving advice on how to get out of it. So some people say eat a lot of beets because then your pee will be red. Jude says swallow a couple cotton balls so when they do an x-ray it'll appear like as a shadow. But JoJo is the only one who's like, man, you're not going to get out of this.
Instead, Max just lights his letter on fire and he burns it at the table, but JoJo says, like, that's not... You can burn it, but he still has to show because the letter has, like, where he needs to be on a certain date to enlist.
Yes.
The next day, Lucy and Jude are sitting... I'm never exactly clear where in New York City it is. I think it's on the west side, but it's like a cement pier.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Lucy talks about Daniel and how scared she is for Max. Jude picks up a stick and starts drawing on the wall of the abandoned warehouse, and he draws her. This is the first time we see that... Actually, no, that's not true. We've seen Jude sketching, but he actually has talent. Lucy tells him that he should have studied art, and Jude says, you can't make money that way. And they have a lovely moment of staring into each other's eyes. And then a policeman comes and ruins everything.
So the police tells them that they're defacing public property, and they get a bit sassy, so they have to run away, because Jude can't get in trouble with the police because he's there illegally, so they run.
The policeman chases them, they get away, they hide in one of the old buildings nearby, and Lucy looks at Jude as he, like, throws the stick into the water and just falls in love. She sings If I Fell.
In love.
And she stares at him for a while, like, just clearly falling in love before our eyes. We montage to a party at the apartment, and Lucy watches Jude kiss his not real girlfriend, and they fight.
Oh, I thought this was just him immediately breaking up with her. Like, she just sort of grabs him and kisses him, and he's just like, whoa, okay, we have to talk.
Unclear. There is no dialogue.
There's no dialogue. It's just Lucy singing.
But then Lucy and Jude slow dance and kiss, and it's a big ol' kiss.
Ooh, big ol' kiss. He goes straight in there.
Just, like, consuming her face. The next day, Max walks in and discovers Jude and Lucy in bed together, but he's cool with it.
So Max walks in on them and tells them to get up because he has a date with Uncle Sam. So he has to go to the Army draft place to get his physical done. This cuts into the song, I Want You, parentheses, She's So Heavy.
We see Max show up for his draft appointment and swallow some cotton. This was a disturbing song in a good way. Like, there's some pretty good CGI for 2007. The song starts, there's these huge posters of the I Want You, Uncle Sam poster, and they reach out of their posters and they're pointing at Max, and it is very terrifying. He tries to get away, but a bunch of army men come and drag him, and we get the first of many conveyor belt dances.
Yes.
Which I thought were really cool and a really good use of space.
Absolutely. I heard this song described as like a nightmare ballet, which I thought was really interesting.
Yes. Max is on this conveyor belt, and as he goes past two lines of army men, they, like, strip him to his underwear.
Now, these army men have these masks on them, so they all look exactly the same, and they're sort of slightly larger than normal faces, and apparently this mask was based off of one of their lead dancers.
Max goes down the conveyor belt and joins a bunch of other recruits in their underwear. The ceiling comes down and places them all in, like, cubicles of enrollment and exam, and there's a lot of puppet army dancing in conjunction with the conveyor belts to a CGI scene of all the recruits stomping through trees, like miniature trees, as if they were like 40 feet tall, carrying a big Statue of Liberty on their back.
And that's when it morphs into She's So Heavy.
Long story short, Max fails to get out of the army.
Though he does try and get out of it, the guy says, is there any reason why you shouldn't be in the army? And he says, I'm a cross-dressing homosexual pacifist with a spot on my lung. It's like anything that he can possibly think of, and the guy's like, as long as you don't have flat feet. So he is officially drafted.
We go back to the apartment. We see Sadie and JoJo, who have now gotten together, singing and dancing. And we pan to see Prudence sitting, I thought it was the fire escape. She's pining after Sadie. It's not the fire escape. It is a plank of wood that is jutted out the window and is clearly, like, hanging on another window. It's not safe at all.
Wild. So Lucy notices Prudence watching Sadie, points it out to Jude, being like, oh, how long has that been going on? Like, obviously Prudence is super into Sadie, and Jude is just an oblivious man.
Oblivious. Next morning, we see Sadie dressing JoJo for her band, and he's not feeling the vibe.
It's a huge reference to Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the purple outfit, it's the bandana. So, I mean, this character was specifically written to be a Jimi Hendrix-esque person.
Oh, I didn't
and
know that.
Sadie's character was written to be a Janis Joplin-esque person.
Did know that.
Yes.
But Max comes into Sadie's room for help because Prudence has locked herself in the bathroom and won't come out.
No,
And
in the closet.
I thought it was the bathroom.
No, she's in a closet.
All right. That makes more sense why there's clothes hanging. It's a bohemian apartment. What do you want from me?
No, that's fair. There's a plank out the window. It's fine.
There's beads for doors. But through the door of this closet, Sadie begins to sing Dear Prudence.
So Sadie starts to sing to her, but she ends up having to leave for her band, so her and JoJo dip out. So Jude, Lucy, and Max take over, trying to convince her to come out of the closet.
Oh, yeah.
Hence the play, yeah.
Oh, God, I feel dumb. Suddenly, the walls of the apartment disappear. We start with the windows and then just the walls, and the whole thing just floats into the sky. And Prudence comes out of the closet.
And they all end up together at a peace march. Walking down Fifth Avenue towards Washington Square Park. And they actually did this on Fifth Avenue, walking towards Washington Square Park. But they filmed this in like 2006, so it was like mid-Iraq War. And so apparently a lot of people thought it was a legitimate protest against the Iraq War.
Wow.
Yeah.
They end under the arch at Washington Square Park, and we see there's one man who is definitely leading the protest. And cut to, we see Lucy going to a brownstone and signing up to, I don't know what to call this. It's like headquarters for the resistance.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah, but we see Lucy coming and like signing up. She wants to help.
Yes.
Sadie has a meeting with a guy that we saw at her Cafe Huh performance. He was like the only suit in the audience, but he wants her to sign with his label. He's a music producer, but he wants just her, not her band.
But her outfit in this is so off-brand, but so funky, and just like a big flouncy dress and cowboy boots. And a floppy hat.
Man, the 70s are in full effect because they're dining. I want to think they're like eating at Veselka, but it's they're in the East Village and they see this big VW bus go by, painted in like psychedelic colors, and the music producer makes a comment that Dr. Robert was on that bus and he's in town to plug his book.
This music producer, whose name is Bill, invites Sadie.
Never knew his name.
That's okay.
This whole movie.
He invites Sadie to this book party. It's unlike any book party I have ever been to.
It's hosted by Dr. Robert's publisher. Her name is Luna Park. Sadie is invited, but she brings the whole gang. The whole gang comes.
With her +8.
And it was like Max, Jude, Lucy, JoJo, and while they're there, JoJo overhears the music producer telling Sadie that he wants her, just not the band. This is like the beginning. You can tell that mod fashion.
Things are starting to...
Oh, you're talking about the deterioration of the band. I'm talking about fashion.
Yes. Ah, got it.
But Luna Park introduces Dr. Roberts. I thought this was fucking Robin Williams at first.
Oh my god, no.
It's not, but you know who it is?
'Tis
Bono.
So Bono starts doing his whole speech, which leads into I Am the Walrus, which is a big psychedelic number.
That is also the name of his book that he is pitching. But this is very psychedelic cinematography.
Things get a bit blurry.
We never see anyone take drugs, but there is very much the
assumed
implication.
It was in the punch.
But it's never explicitly said. Everyone trips. They go from the party to Dr. Roberts' bus.
Somehow they all end up on the tie-dye bus.
First I thought that, like, the bus was the metaphor for the trip, but no, they were actually on the bus, but tripping while they were on the bus. And they get to an island compound.
In upstate New York.
Great, I never knew where.
Great.
I felt like I was having a seizure watching this.
That's very valid.
But they find out they are at the headquarters of the League of Spiritual Deliverance.
Which stands for...
LSD. which is the home of Dr. Geary, who's like another Dr. Roberts-like person. Dr. Robert really wants to meet him. Dr. Geary won't see Dr. Robert.
Absolutely not. Under no circumstances.
So Dr. Robert says, fuck it, fine. We're going home.
To California.
And our crew, Jude, Lucy, Max, Sadie.
I called them the apartment this whole time.
Thank you. They're like, we don't live in California. Robert's is like, too fucking bad. So they leave them there.
So at this point, Lucy and Jude are sort of deep into hippie culture of like, I am me as we are we and all of that, and we're all together. Lucy hears some music and they all go to check it out, and it's a very bizarre sort of circus.
Was this more drugs, or did this happen for real?
Maybe. It is unclear. It's sort of like a collage this whole time.
They stumble through the woods. Lucy is hearing music, and there's like giant puppet performance art.
Yeah, it's very bizarre.
And there's one giant puppet, and like out from underneath the chin of the giant puppet comes this big circus tent. And this crazy Johnny Depp, Nick Offerman looking motherfucker comes out of the tent.
And by that you mean
Eddie Izzard, but I didn't know that till after.
Okay. So they go to see this show.
This is to the song Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite. This man, who was played by Eddie Izzard, is Mr. Kite. He's kind of like the ringmaster of this psychedelic circus, and he invites them into the tent.
The filming of this, it looks like a collage, but like parts of it are videos and parts of it are pictures, and this wild song where eventually Mr. Kite introduces the act Harry the Horse, which surprises Prudence, who had left the apartment. And she's doing this act where she has this big horse skirt and is roller skating around. It's great. She looks very happy. I support her.
Again, felt like drugs. But Prudence seems a lot happier here. The song ends, everyone stumbles out of the tent. Prudence introduces Sadie to her girlfriend. Cut to first just grass in a swamp. We hear the opening of Because. It pans to, we see our group, including Prudence, lying on the grass in a circle, singing Because.
Yes, so what's interesting about this song is that the original Beatles song had the three singers, and so to echo just those three voices doing this song, they wanted to have three people each singing one of the three parts, which means that you have all your main characters, but that only leaves to 7 people, so they had to have like 2 random girls that were just hooking up with Max as the extras. So you look at this circle and you recognize everyone except for these 2 girls around Max.
It's a really cool crane shot of it. Comes through the grass, and then once we start to see everyone, it comes up, and it's just an aerial shot of everyone in the grass. And each of the couples has a verse that they sing to each other. Suddenly, we're underwater.
I read an interview with Evan Rachel Wood and Julie Taymor. So, to film this underwater sequence, they had to sing the song faster than normal, so they had to learn how to sing at a certain tempo so that whenever it was slowed down, their mouths were still singing at the correct tempo, but everything else was moving in slow motion. And it was literally filmed underwater, so they just had to, like, go up, okay, deep breath, go under, and then lip sync really fast, and then come back up and just make out underwater.
Max is the first one to surface out of the water, and as he's in the water, he sees the shadow of a helicopter fly overhead, and this blends us into Max now being in Vietnam, getting out of a real helicopter into a swamp and taking fire. Meanwhile, it's winter in New York City. Jude is sketching. Lucy has a job at a diner, but she also works at that anti-war resistance headquarters. And it's a brownstone, so Jude like comes up the steps and knocks on the window and like wants to know when she's going to be done, but she mouths that she loves him.
And it seems like it could be okay, like it's a bit of a struggle right now, but in general, things between them are kind of okay. Back in the apartment, Lucy is asleep and Jude is drawing her, and he starts singing something. And you sort of see how all of the walls are covered with his art of the both of them.
He always draws in black and white. It's either like in pencil or in pen, but like his artistic style is black and white sketches, and this is important for later.
Mm-hmm.
But he seems conflicted, or is he just brooding? I don't know.
I don't know either. It feels like a bit of a brood, and just, I think you can feel that things are changing, but he's like super in love with Lucy, but he's not quite sure.
It's like when you have a feeling, but you can't put it to words.
Yeah, I think so. So he's drawing a nude of her, so she's naked under a blanket, and she comes up behind him while he's drawing and says, "You didn't get my left nipple right."
And she tells him that Paco, who is the leader of the anti-war resistance, is planning a protest at Columbia, and that they need to radicalize.
Yike.
They can't just keep handing out pamphlets and having protests. They need to radicalize. Jude reminds her that Sadie has a gig that night. Lucy says she'll try to make it. We cut to the Fillmore. Sadie is performing "Oh Darling."
I love this song.
Take it away.
The real song as well, but this version of this song. So we hear Sadie and JoJo arguing, and it turns out that they're on stage, like about to start a set, and Sadie has told JoJo that he's not coming with her into this music production company that she's starting with Bill, and he is furious, and she starts singing "Oh Darlin'," and he has like all these little interjections, and he's playing the guitar in like a very jarring and distracting way, but it's still on pitch and melody, and he has all of these comments. One of them is it Sadie or Shady? And I giggled.
But they're fighting over the microphone.
Yeah, so he starts singing too, because the lyrics are, "When you told me you didn't need me anymore," so it really matches with the emotion of the moment, and he starts singing into the mic too, and there's this violence, but it's a really, really good song, and his voice is remarkable. He has my favorite singing voice of the entire cast. But Sadie storms off.
JoJo takes over, finishes the song for her, and he kind of kills it.
He kind of kills it. My favorite singer. Sadie leaves with Bill, the producer.
But not before swigging some Jack Daniels in the dressing room.
That is a direct reference, actually, to Janis Joplin. She was known to drink
Southern
straight
Comfort.
Southern Comfort, which is, oh boy.
And we see Jude in the audience at this performance, but Lucy's not there. Later, Jude is at home, angry, and failing to draw an apple.
He's sort of struggling to find his inspiration. Like, he's drawing the apple, but it's not really going great.
Get it
so
right.
he, like, cuts it in half and gotta use a knife. So he's struggling, and in walks Lucy and the head revolutionary guy,
Paco.
They show up, and Paco has a TV. And Jude is kind of really pissy about it, because he doesn't want the TV in...
He says he doesn't want
in
it
his
where
space.
he works. Like, Lucy
Right.
leaves to go to work, Jude stays home and works, and he doesn't want a TV where he works. And he storms out of the room, and he smokes a blunt alone.
And Lucy apologizes to Paco. She's sort of confused as to why he's acting this way.
Lucy and Paco set up the TV, and Jude listens to the news of the many deaths in Vietnam, and we get the song "Strawberry Fields Forever."
Yes. This was a really interesting start to this song. I really enjoyed the music instrumentals coming in over the top of the war stats coming in from the TV. And the imagery is that strawberries are bombs and grenades.
Jude gets inspiration for an art piece where he pins strawberries to a canvas, and the juice of the strawberry runs down and it looks like blood. And from there, he starts throwing strawberries at the canvas with the Vietnam War footage behind it. Then shifts, as you said, we actually see strawberries falling like bombs in Vietnam. Then Jude just starts flinging red paint all over his previously pristine, like black and white sketches. The biggest strawberry budget of any film.
So many strawberries! Cut to the laundromat. So Jude and Lucy are doing laundry, and Jude tells her that he got a job designing the logo for Sadie's record company. He says it's going to be a strawberry, but Lucy is really not interested in this conversation and eventually confronts Jude about his rudeness towards Paco and why wouldn't he even listen. But Jude accuses Paco of being a dong wan.
A shagger. He thinks that Paco just wants to sleep with Lucy.
Now, the people in the background of this argument are great.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but they're just like wide-eyed,
Great
like closed-mouth
ensemble
faces
acting.
of just like,
Yeah, you're having a big private argument in a public space. Lucy essentially calls Jude's job stupid in comparison to what Paco does.
Doodles and cartoons.
Yeah, and that he doesn't know what it feels like because he'll never be drafted, and he points out she won't be either.
Yes. But she says, I would lay down in front of a tank if it would bring Max home, and he comes back with, well, it wouldn't. And this kind of breaks her a bit because she's struggling so hard to do anything she can to end this war, to bring her brother home, and it's hard to come to terms with the fact that it may not do anything.
She thinks it's worth protesting. He doesn't. She storms out of the laundromat, which takes us to the opening chords of Revolution! Jude goes to the headquarters looking for Lucy, and this is my second favorite song in this movie.
It's really good how they pulled the story into the lyrics.
Really, really well done. He's saying how revolution won't work. Lucy's begging him to stop talking, but Paco kicks Jude out. He comes immediately back in.
Oh, yeah.
He starts throwing papers around and pushing people. He punches Paco.
Big punch!
Yeah, big old punch. Jude takes some punches as well, and he gets thrown out for good. Lucy comes out after him crying, asking why he would do that. And she goes back inside. Jude walks home. And while he's walking home, he passes a TV store? A store window with maybe 6 or 7 TV monitors. And we see the first rolling in reports of Martin Luther King's assassination.
Yes. So Jude goes to the cafe where Jojo is playing While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Again, his voice, stunning.
They're both so sad.
Sad boys. We also see Sadie performing in her big new production. She storms off stage because the new guitar guy isn't good. He doesn't have any funk. He doesn't have any stank. And she's yelling at her producer, Bill. And Bill's like, we're almost done with the tour. Just like, get it together.
She clearly misses Jojo, but isn't saying it. During this, we also see Lucy go to Jude's studio, and she sees the strawberry and red paint carnage, and she cries.
So Jojo and Jude stumble out of the club at daybreak. Jude invites him back up to the apartment, but Jojo won't go because it's not the same without Sadie. And Jude sneaks back in but sees that Lucy has moved out and left him.
He gets upstairs and sees the dresser is empty, the bed is empty, Lucy has left. He sinks to the floor as we get the opening chords of Across the Universe.
So now we have a tracking shot of New Yorkers on the subway and Jude singing Across the Universe. And he sees another train car passing, and in the other train car he sees 2 people, which is himself and Lucy at a different time when they were happy.
Or like a reflection of a life of them together. And Jude watches this other reality pass by. He gets off the train and he's at Columbia, and he's at that protest.
So we see all of the people who work in the headquarters sort of up on this balcony at Columbia.
Oh, right, hang on. The protest is specifically about there are like top scientists at Columbia that are working for the government, and the protest is against their potential involvement in the Vietnam War.
So we see Paco up there, and the cops come in, and we see Paco arrested, and Lucy is being dragged out behind them. Paco keeps putting up a peace sign, and so a cop punches him in the stomach, and Lucy starts struggling with these cops, and Jude sees the cops sort of getting rough with Lucy, so he starts fighting to help Lucy. Interspersed over this is also shots of Max fighting in a hellscape in Vietnam.
And Sadie singing Helter Skelter. This is Helter Skelter combined with Across the Universe.
Exactly. So eventually at the end, Jude gets beaten by cops and arrested.
Very bloody. And this song, I thought this was a little out of context, ends on maybe like 6 or 7 naked women in masks on a lake. It's performance art. The women fall back into the lake, and we see that one of the women is Prudence. So maybe she's still doing performance art? Unclear.
That was the first thing that they filmed for this movie, and the producers got very, very nervous.
Oh man, imagine being that producer being like, what?
I have questions.
I have notes. Next is a prison holding cell, and it goes from super full to super empty, and we see Jude inside the whole time.
So, of course, Jude is in there. I mean, he's there illegally, so that's sort of why he hasn't been released yet. So he gets his visitor, which turns out to be his dad, Wes. So Wes shows up for him because apparently Lucy called. They have a very sweet but very awkward heart-to-heart where Wes says, I tried to tell them you were my son and I was an American citizen, but obviously I don't have any proof. I got them to drop the protest charges, but you're still being deported.
Mm-hmm. Flash forward, Jude is back at the Liverpool docks.
Yeah, back at the shipyard. So now we cut to the song Happiness is a Warm Gun. So Max is back home and he's in a vet hospital. And Lucy's visiting him, but he is very shell-shocked, just, PTSD, just not really cognizant of what's around him. Into this morphine dream where Selma Hayek is your nurse.
Selma Hayek is the nurse.
I know, but multiplied. There's 8 of her.
It's another conveyor belt dance, but it's the beds. All the wounded soldier beds are moving around. And Max gets a big blue injection, like a giant needle.
Like a horse needle.
Cut to Lucy is in D.C. She's in a phone booth. She's on the phone with her mom. She's mad about the war and how messed up Max is. And her mom is warning her about how radical and violent the protests are getting. And Lucy wants her mom to be more radical.
She says we should all be radical.
But she hangs up on her mom. Lucy is kind of surrounded by a protest in this phone booth. The protest gets violent, and Lucy gets stuck in the phone booth, kind of trapped, watching police shooting guns and beating protesters. And she sings Revolution to herself very quietly.
I mean, I loved this visual of being stuck in a box but not being able to help or participate, because it felt very much like how people were watching the war in Vietnam through a TV screen but couldn't go and help or do anything. It felt like a commentary on being forced to watch violence with no way to actually stop it.
Next we see Jojo playing the guitar. Lucy gets out of a cab and she goes back to the brownstone where the resistance headquarters were, but it's dark and it's empty inside. No one is there. All the desks and posters are gone. Where'd they go? She hears what sounds like a drill upstairs. She goes up and she discovers Paco and 2 other guys building a bomb.
She says, I thought the other side were the ones who dropped bombs.
Paco tells her to leave. She leaves. Jojo's guitar continues to wail. Jude is working at the docks. He gets off work. He goes and he buys a newspaper. And right there, front page, American anti-war radicals killed in homemade bomb blast. And there's a photo of Paco's brownstone just obliterated.
Now, this was a real photo.
It is. It's based on a real thing.
Yes, on West 11th Street, right where we used to live.
Crazy. Jude looks horrified and immediately thinks and worries about Lucy. And I was not expecting this at all. I was expecting it to cut to him in New York, but the newspaper is dramatically blown to bits as if it was part of the blast. And Jude is once again sad on the beach with the paper just fluttering around him.
Back to opening beach. So Lucy and Max are back where Jude drew that first portrait of Lucy.
Yeah, the abandoned concrete pier.
Max is obviously very much struggling. He's doing a little bit better. He's out of the hospital, but he still has that look in his eyes where he's just not fully, he's not okay. So Lucy sings Blackbird.
We see Jude walking on a beach. He's pensive. He goes to a pub and drinks a beer. Max is similarly also in a bar drinking a beer. Now he has a mustache. And they are both sitting at the bar alone, different bars, and there's a mirror behind both of their bars. And in his reflection, Max imagines that he's sitting next to Jude, and he starts to sing, Hey Jude.
There it is.
I loved it.
Love this song.
I really liked this song.
Jude sees him in the bar mirror too and decides to go back to the U.S., this time legally. He goes through immigration, it all works out, and then he gets out and Max is there to pick him up, and Max is thrilled to see him. They do a big ol' hug. This is how I'm going to hug you, Anna, by the way.
I'm going to cry if you talk like that.
So they're driving.
Max still drives a taxi. He did not tell Lucy that Jude was coming, but they hear Sadie singing on the radio.
Oh no, they're running late.
She's singing Don't Let Me Down. Cut to, she's performing live with her band on a roof.
So, concert on a roof, Sadie and Jojo are back together, Prudence is there.
Prudence just keeps fucking showing up in this movie.
I love her. Lucy shows up in a taxi, but she can't get in, and she's not really trying super hard to get there, so she ends up walking away.
She walks up to the front door, and she sees the roof belongs to the music label of Sadie's, and she sees Jude's logo of the strawberry emblazoned on the door and hanging on a sign, and she sees it and gets sad and decides not to go up.
Jude and Max show up on the roof. Everyone's very excited to see Jude, but the cops also show up to shut down the music, and Jude hides behind a building. I don't know.
Prudence and Max leave. They can't find Jude. Everyone gets kind of corralled off the roof, and Jude stands on the roof alone. He looks down off the side of the building at the crowd leaving. The equipment is all still set up, so Jude taps on the microphone and starts to sing All You Need Is Love.
So Sadie and her crew...
I laughed at, like, there's a shot of a couple policemen down on the street, like, looking up at me like, this fucking another one? I like this.
So, it was very funny. So Sadie and her crew hear Jude singing while they're in the stairwell on the way down, and them and the cops all rush back up. The cops want to stop him, but Sadie and Prue start singing love at the cops and basically convince them to let them finish the song.
And at the chorus of All You Need Is Love, Lucy hears Jude. She's walking away. She hears Jude. She pushes through the crowd to try and get back inside, but the police stop her. She gets an idea.
Gotta go to the other building.
Jude and Max are on the building roof, and they see across the street Lucy's on the other roof, and she and Jude see each other.
They see each other, and there's a moment of just connection, and the song is singing "She Loves You," and it's just,
it's
it made
really
me happy.
Nice moment.
Did a big happy.
I'm a sap.
Big ol' sap for music.
That's how the movie ends.
And it's so nice.
The credits are to Bono's cover of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Another reference to LSD.
I need you to know that this movie, I watched this on Amazon, and the suggested movie that it, like, 5-second warning immediately started to go to was Moulin Rouge, and I was like, no, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Did you like this movie?
I loved this movie.
Yeah, I enjoy this movie. I'll watch it every couple years or so. It makes me really happy. I mean, I'm in love with Evan Rachel Wood, so that is just fine. But also, there's no one character whenever I watch this movie that I'm like, I'm not interested in your storyline. Like, everyone feels like someone that I'm interested in finishing their story.
Specifically, I don't have a huge background with the Beatles. It's not a band I grew up listening to. Like, I'm a human in this century. I know who the Beatles are. Specifically because my mom grew up in this decade and, like, lived through Beatlemania. I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, I think she's just, like, there's some bands that I probably am not going to want to listen to when I'm 60 because I listened to way too much of them in my 20s. kind of like that. So, like, we had, like, one greatest hit CD, and I would play it. She would kind of just, like, roll her eyes and leave the room. So
That's so funny. I mean, my parents had the White Album, so that would come on every now and then, but it wasn't really one of the ones, like, we didn't really listen to the Beatles a lot whenever I was growing up. It wasn't until I was in college, and a friend of mine was very into the Beatles. Through him, sort of got to know their work a bit more. I really enjoy their music. Like, there's some of their moments that I'm not as big of a fan of, but in general, it is remarkable the amount of good music that they create. Cool.
All right.
So, do you want to start going through?
Dramaturgy report section of the podcast. This film was directed by Julie Taymor. She's an American director and writer of theater, film, and opera. She is best known for the 1997 stage adaptation of The Lion King, which still runs on Broadway to this day, except when we're in a pandemic.
Indeed.
She did the 2002 film Frida, starring Salma Hayek, about the life of Frida Kahlo, 5 Oscar nominations. And Grace, she's done a lot of Shakespeare adaptations, both film and stage, including the 2010 The Tempest, starring Helen Mirren, Alfred Molina, Jimon Hunsuya, and Ben Whishaw, which is one of our core memories.
Watching that particular movie.
I'm not going to get into it on this podcast, but that is a core memory for Grace and I. The cinematographer of this film is Bruno Delbonnel, who I have worked with before. We worked on Woman in the Window.
Oh, nice.
He is a French cinematographer. His best-known works include Amélie, Harry Potter, Half-Blood Prince, Inside Llewyn Davis, and Ballad of Buster Scruggs. So many films.
Amazing.
He's great.
So the writers of this script, so it was written by Julie Taymor, Dick Clement, and Ian Lafreniere. Ian Lafreniere and Dick Clement, they always worked together, so those two had a partnership, and they worked on a lot of things. It was a lot of films, television, theater. So yeah, so this process, I believe what happened is that Julie Taymor had the concept and sort of like the outline of what this script would be, and she ended up working with these two guys to flesh out the entire story.
Cool.
Yes. So the music and lyrics, obviously, are the Beatles.
In case you weren't listening to anything we said.
You just skipped all the way through to the end.
To this point.
Julie Taymor said that she used 30 to 33 Beatles songs that were specifically supposed to tell a story between 1963 and 1969, even though the story was condensed into a 2-year time period. But these are all particular Beatles songs from a certain time. Like, a lot of their early stuff, you know, Twistin' and Shoutin', like that sort of like more poppy stuff, and then a lot of their later stuff that was a little bit more esoteric, they didn't use those. They wanted to sort of use the stuff that most people would know. In terms of the actors, Evan Rachel Wood was 17 at the time of filming this.
I was wondering that.
Yeah, she's so young. Because she had been in film and...
yeah, she had a good career prior to this.
So she heard that Julie Taymor was doing a Beatles musical, and she was like, I gotta do this. There were a couple of options for who they wanted to be Jude. One of them was Jake
Gyllenhaal.
Oh my god! I'm so happy that they chose a British guy to be Jude. Like, how can you think of choosing an American to be Jude, who his whole story sort of is supposed to symbolize John Lennon's story? Like, guys, come on.
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up going with Jim Sturgess. Now, the guy who played Max, who I think his name is Joe Anderson, he originally was called in to audition for Jude, but in the room turned to the director, Julie, and was like, I am Max, so can I please audition for Max? And they let him, and he ended up getting it. The character of Sadie was written specifically for Dana Fuchs, and obviously, like we said, was supposed to be a reference to Janis Joplin. And Dana Fuchs is very much a singer. Like, she wasn't an actor. Same thing with the guy who played JoJo, who is Martin Luther McCoy. So for Eddie Izzard as Mr. Kite, they had asked David Bowie to be Mr. Kite. Can you imagine?
I got
Eddie
all
Izzard,
kinds of feelings.
I mean, Eddie Izzard did a phenomenal job, but the idea
yeah.
of David Bowie singing that song is just like, big ol' heartthrob. And then the last bit about casting that I have is about Selma Hayek, and specifically, she was the Bang Bang Shoot Shoot nurse. And apparently, oh damn it, I had the note. But then
is it that she specifically requested to appear in the film? And when Taymor mentioned the role, Selma Hayek was like, just one of the nurses?
Yeah, that was what it was. It was so funny. It was just like, she's like, oh, we have this Bang Bang Shoot Shoot nurse. Do you want to be her? And she was like, I'm sorry, just one nurse? So that's why there's like 8 of her.
It's great. I have one thing specifically for you, which is Teresa Victoria Carpio, who played Prudence. I think she's a Canadian actor, but most importantly for you, she played Eurydice in the Citadel theater production of Hadestown in 2017.
Oh, I love that. How good. She was really good.
Which is a
her
Canadian theater, which is why I think
Yes.
she's Canadian. Do you have anything else for casting?
I do not.
All right. This film was originally scheduled for release in 2006, but was postponed because of editing. The editing process took longer. It was nominated for a Golden Globe, an Oscar, and a GLAAD Media Award. It didn't win anything. Reviews, some people thought it was a masterpiece. Others quote that the psychedelic musical numbers couldn't mask the cliched love story and thinly written characters. Today, it holds a 53% on Rotten Tomatoes. Definitely mixed reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this about the sequel?
I did. Wild.
All right, in October 2020, so like only a couple months ago, Julie Taymor announced that developments were underway for a sequel with Jim Sturgess and Evan Rachel Wood in discussions to reprise their roles, with the plot taking place during the 70s and featuring additional songs by the Beatles. As we said before, there are so many Beatles songs, they couldn't put them all in.
I'm very excited about the opportunity to see that.
Do you want to talk about singing?
Yeah. The singing voices in this, it was everyone's singing voice, so they weren't dubbed like
Except
Lady.
for Molly's voice.
Yes, except for Molly, which she only has this one verse in the first song.
Oh, my lovin'. I really liked that there was actual singing. Again, like there were quieter, more breathy moments at the intimate moments, but there was singing.
Mm-hmm. It was nice the way that some of these songs were very much an internal monologue, but some of the songs were dialogue that was happening. So especially Revolution, whenever Jude is angry and comes in to confront Lucy at the Revolution place, the lyrics really connect with where the characters are at the moment, which was a really smart move and just a smart introduction with the writers.
Mm-hmm. Dancing-wise, we didn't have any like major dancing in the street, large choreography, but we definitely had more choreography than we saw in Some Like It Hot and My Fair Lady.
Yes. They had a lead choreographer who that choreographer actually played. There's one moment where we see a hippie sort of wildly dancing, gesticulating in the street.
Hey, was he the Russian priest as well? The Orthodox priest?
He played both of them.
Cool.
Because it's the exact same dance and they wanted that connection to happen.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
The bowling scene is still my favorite.
Oh, it's so lovely. Because it's just such a lot of fun colors.
Mm-hmm. Again, like, Bruno loves colors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really have any gripes.
My only gripe was that he threw a lit cigarette into bushes.
Fair. My moment of joy was the bowling scene.
Very much so.
And discovering Orphée as one of the prostitutes. Do you have any fun trivia left?
I had one specifically about the cut of the film that was released.
Cool.
So the studio head, Joe Roth, disliked Julie Taymor's initial cut of the film and had it re-edited to better suit mass audiences. Now, these edits were kind of aggressive, like to the point where one of them cut out the entire Detroit riot scene. In one of them, Prudence wasn't even gay. Like, deep cuts of the story. But Julie's contract gave her final cut rights. You know, Roth just did this cut and was like, oh, I have this final cut of the movie. And Julie Taymor was like, fuck,
like hell you do.
No, absolutely not. She threatened a lawsuit. And in exchange for participating in the DVD release and the publicity campaign, Taymor forced the studio to sign an agreement that all copies of Roth's edit would be destroyed.
Burn them!
Burn them all! And no further re-edits of the film, barring television edits, could ever be released without her express permission. So,
good for her. Snaps
to her for standing up for her product.
Agreed. You said all my trivia. You stole all my trivia.
Oh no!
All right. That was it.
That was so much fun. Ugh.
We are 5678, a movie musical podcast. She is Grace.
You are Anna. Listener, you are Anna.
You can find us where all podcasts are. Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at 5678, a movie musical podcast.
Indeed.
We will be posting teasers of our next episode. You can go on and guess what we're going to be doing.
If you would like to email us with any comments or corrections, our email is 5678, a movie musical podcast at gmail.com. We would love to hear from you.
We would love suggestions on what you think we should do next.
We would love some reviews on iTunes and some stars.
Drop
Please
us a review.
Thank you.
Drop us some stars. The more stars and reviews we have, the more reach we get, and means more listeners can listen to us.
To our dumb voices.
My dumb brain. Do you have anything to leave our listeners with?
Nope. We're going to put in the notes a link to the Wikipedia page of the 1967 Detroit riots. That's my homework for this episode.
I have one thing that brought me a lot of joy today. It's been a very stressful, long day. I didn't sleep well. But there was a Broadway World article that came my way of figure skating set to various cuts of Hamilton songs. Like competitive figure skating, and it really brought me some joy, so maybe I'll put that in the show notes.
Great. We're always looking for moments of joy.
Oh, my face hurts from smiling. This was fun.
This is great. All right, guys.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you
5, 6,
later.
7, 8.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.